when some people they call it a university. Well, we for this program, we don't sit down with very committed people. When come decide, no say, it is very pertinent, especially at this time, when our education, instead of to the gain ground, it rather carry neck, choke for ground, like turkey, where they find something for ground. Waiting where they find for ground. Now here, these very committed people, where they involved with some professors for school, both retired and serving, retired consultant with the educational sector, and those in the private sectors are where come sit down and say, no, at the pace at which we go, if we not do something with our education, it no go well with us. Now we come sit down, take a critical look, say make we do something, make we call you with the stakeholder, that we do something about our education. Yes, today we don't sit down again. And on driver's wheel, like come be me, will be your own friend, your brother. We are all brothers, we are all sisters. Me in the call, comrade, Omang, Dave. I know they alone, I deal with
Professor Cynthia Chukwumanosike, thanking you immensely for joining us, because this fight is for you and I.
Prof, thank you very much for that, your very correct introduction, because sometimes when you speak that, your sweet, I do my ear, they squeeze my so that I go fit here with you, they talk. You know, EDURADIO, they come in a subsidiary of Dell Digital Broadcast and Media Services they give you, where you they hear for Love 104.5. The station, when they are love, no get any, if they too much elastic, so they carry everybody along.
Yes, true.
Prof, last time we'd say, today we go discuss on, what do we talk?
Budget.
Budget.
Yes.
Funding of education.
Yes,
What thing don't happen in Nigeria.
Okay.
But before we go into that, for purpose of those our brothers, when we know hear us early, it go good make we do a small recap, make you for know what thing we try to bring forth for you for this platform.
Okay.
This platform, our platform, we they try to work with the guidelines when UNESCO don't put for ground with the SDG. And what the UNESCO talk about, it say on purpose now to contribute to peace and security in the world by promoting collaborations among nations through education, cultural, science, and communication in order to further universal respect for justice and the rule of law. You see how they think hammer? Because when you get education, education na power, education na key. Education na something where we say, you know, from within the rule of law, those will be lawyer and I go correct me if I did wrong. I think this rule of law, then people say it was sometimes in 1886 by one Professor A.V. Diocese. As far back as then, it can't say when you dey educated, it they give you one air because you know say hope day.
Of course.
And some people when don't give up, they don't give up because of say, because imagine say you get education, they give you one air and that air they encourage you. However, maybe give another point again when the SDG talk will be SDG goal 4. It's saying on aim now to bring about inclusive and equitable quality education to promote lifelong learning opportunities. And what it can suit me for what all of them put together, they can say it go good, make a nation grant in own citizen at least minimum of basic or what they call primary school to post-primary, what they call secondary school. Because when you get there, you go understand. Prof, sorry, I won't give a small objective again. Then go back to something where I say education is very important. Because I stated it here sometimes last time when we get this program. Education for Nigeria, what they call Western education, started as far back as 1840 to about 1842.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
And as it come, when those missionaries, the missionaries will bring, they caught Christians, the Methodists, and the Catholics, yes, where they bring this thing. As they bring and they can't establish them. When they can't establish them, it can't day. But you know why they bring that small history? And they bring and make we understand how education is important.
Okay.
After when they bring that education, it took over 17 years because the next level, where the secondary education was established in 1859. The question I want to ask now is that why the gap?
Why the gap? Why the lacuna?
Why the lacuna?
Okay.
17 to 19 years or thereabout. Why the lacuna? The idea in the course of our research, it talks say They say if they introduce them immediately, those who don't take that secondary education, it go interfere with their policies.
Okay.
Where them input us at that time. So as such, they just gave us some time, make we take freelance, do small freestyle, make we not get the education acquired, because they knew it was a key.
Okay.
So education is the key. And once you get education, it makes you, however, we go there.
Okay.
And for purpose of those people again, once again, what they talk, we don't know what they try to do. They try to uncover those intricate, those things we don't hold our educational system for neck. Instead of us, they go up, they go down. And we take a look at it from primary to secondary to university. We won't bring education to your doorstep because we feel say you be stakeholder. Make we join hands together with you, see how we will contribute positively to take our education out of the doldrum with Education Day. We want to contribute positively to bring education where we say it is too relevant for our society because of what they do. We go be your own gateway where we say information when they happen for schools, good and bad, go they bring them to you. A lecturer, teacher, primary school to do something good, he deserves what? To be rewarded. He needed to be rewarded. But the one we do something bad, like the one we do bad things now. When some lecturers don't they carry join body, they do join body. Say if you not bring l'argent, when some of our Cameroon brothers they call l'argent or chanchan, money for admission, it can be trouble.
No way.
And some will come carry some opeke, they carry one join body too. It's not correct. Because the thing don't be, but however, Prof, I go want make we give the National Assembly one or two bossa.
Okay.
For sake of say they don't carry that bill.
Okay.
That sex, how do you call them?
Sex for mark.
Sex for mark.
Mark for sex.
All of them join. Bring and come National Assembly.
Okay.
It don't they go public hearing session now.
It's a good one.
No, no, give them two bossa.
Okay, let's
2.5.
Them. Okay, 2.5. Okay. Boza.
No more good one after the other. Okay. How many bossa? Okay.
Two, just two.
Bossa. No give them one have one. Boss. Correct. Let's say with their letters to themselves for university. So you see all of these things when I bring up, make we encourage waiting good for educational sector. Okay. And when we encourage them, it will give us a good limelight to where we go. Yes, back to what we try to do today. Professor, this thing will bring about, we carry us come to this morning.
Okay.
Or this
afternoon.
Now, poor budgetary allocation or poor funding to our educational sector in Nigeria. What do you get to talk about that?
Okay, I want to go down memory lane for this one. Let us start, for instance, from this particular administration where we are.
Yeah.
Okay, in the year 2016, the budget was in the tune of almost 600 and something billion naira in the educational sector, for the educational sector now.
Yeah.
Okay, and this was not utilized. To my own knowledge, it wasn't utilized. The money was not used for the purposes it was allocated for. Yeah. Because most often than not, these allocations are just on paper, no proper implementation. Something happens along the line and the money doesn't get to the beneficiaries one way or the other. This money in question was allotted for the UBEB, as in the unity schools, the universities, with public universities we have in Nigeria, the public polytechnics, and of course the teachers training institutions. But at the end of the day, they were not used.
Yeah.
One way or the other, something happened and this money vanished. Okay? Subsequently, over the years, we have seen a nosediving, as in instead of us to be getting an astronomical rise in the educational sector, putting into cognizance that the fact that we have more children, we are bringing in more children in our country. So our educational facilities, as educational allocations should grow higher. But what do we have? We have a situation whereby it is on the decline. Yes, government is maybe knowingly or unknowingly playing us against one another.
Yeah.
Probably they are trying to promote the private sectors, as in those who are running private universities, private secondary schools, and all of that, trying to make their industries to thrive to the detriment of the public schools. So what we have in the poor budgetary fundings even when it is on paper, like I did say, that this is the amount allotted or proposed, we find out that at the end of the day, these proposals don't come to the limelight. This money, maybe at the point it vanishes. We don't know what happens to them. But that is the cry, the hue and cry, which we are talking about today. What becomes of all of these allotments? What becomes of all of these budgets that they tell us in passing that so amount of money, 3-point-something billion, 6.1 billion have been allotted to the educational sector? What becomes of this money? Because in the true sense of the word, it doesn't get to where it is supposed to go.
Professor, when I grow, I want to be like you. You know, we don't hear, Professor, we don't hear her summary of the consequences of poor budgetary allocation, the cause. Make it flow. Because of poor budgetary allocation, Medicare for university don't carry neck put for ground.
Okay.
Because of poor budgetary allocation, infrastructures in our universities are in a very sorry state, i.e., lecture halls where students take lecture, we're supposed to accommodate, say, between 30, even a lecture theater, we're supposed to take at least 150.
Yes.
Take about 300 to 350. Waiting that student won't hear. Nigerians and our friends and brothers around and beyond the shores of this country, we go see, we go to bring on our pictures. So what they send for me for one school for East, UNN to be precise, medicine and surgery.
Okay.
And surgery department.
Surge, yeah.
Over 350 students were sitting on the floor, some by the window side, waiting that medicine student won't hear we can't give you injection tomorrow. However, down at one of it.
Okay.
After lecture hall, you go your hostel.
Yes.
Are these hostels habitable? These hostels are in a sorry state.
Yes.
These hostels, before some of us we go school early. This hostel before now, you go hostel, you feel rest. So after you don't take a long pressure for school, you supposed to cool off with a very good ambience, with very good light, we will make you read. Are these light there?
No.
All these things constitute infrastructures and teaching aids. What about the libraries? Are these libraries there?
No.
Do we have the books available
No books.
there? Do we have the public address system for the theater halls to use? Do we have projectors for some of the secondary schools and even universities at large? Do we have the laboratories for experiments?
Have you asked about the seats, the sitting arrangements?
Not be when holiday seats go there. So they hang outside.
Okay.
However, because of poor budgetary allocation, this one don't lead to most of our lecturers. According to one professor for one director, where they're in charge of one distance learning for Federal University of Technology, open e-learning, to be precise, Musa Aibinu. He talks about 23,000 African lecturers. They migrate.
Yes.
They come out for Nigeria, go outside.
Drain.
You know what it means? This one are amongst our best hands. We're supposed to add value, bring in and impact that good knowledge on our people.
Yes.
These people are being taken out. I go give you our figures again. Over 204 to 5,000 Nigerian students are scattered all over the world.
Over the continents, yeah.
Why? The curriculum where we use, if I'm lying, go back to some of our schools. Our own on-the-spot, as the hot reporters, don't give us some of this curriculum. Some don't reach 25 years. And your counterpart will read medicine or something. Can you meet up with the person?
Of course
you
not.
can't.
You can't.
So all of these things, when they talk of policies, you know, actually the atmosphere, is it conducive for the lecturers and the students alike?
Of course
So that the teacher or the lecturer, they direct in counterpart when they NMPC, when they Shell, when they PTDF, when the other Jewish ministry as it were.
Yeah.
When they leave, then they give them either in car, then they give them house.
Yes,
they want for university. Now he kill. It is not fair. The university lecturer needs all of this.
Yes,
But that's no mean say all of this now they talk. So the funding now the key.
Cocoa. Yes.
Now the key.
You told me it's cocoa.
Now
Cocoa.
funding don't lead to a lot of strike.
Okay.
Whether na industrial, whether na ASU, NASU, or all of it. Funding don't lead to a lot of things we not correct. Make I give you something. According to UNESCO, It recommends 26% of the country's total budget for underdeveloped or third world countries.
Okay.
And it will shock you to know say Nigeria is signatory to that convention.
Yes.
So that agreement, so what they're binding? Why? Make a shock on again. Having said all of this, there was a communique that was passed in just 2017, the Presidential Retreat on Education, where all the ministers, they sit down, they beg, they agree. So at least a minimum of 15% should be approved. I go quote and again, I quote and last time.
Okay.
Sanusi, Lamido Sanusi, the Emir of Kano, when he was a governor of CBN, he said one thing and I quote, he said, despite the minimal population of Ghana, Ghana's budgetary allocation is over 23%.
Yes.
But Nigeria, uncle, waiting to happen.
We cannot boast of 13.
And according to the series of commissions we don't take place, according to the series of meetings we don't take place, they don't agree. But this thing they come out in principle, in the practical.
No,
Prof, what you can talk about that?
Yeah, but the point is we are always interested in paperwork. Paperwork without practical experience, as in practicality, where people see what we have put on the ground. Series and series of committees will be formed and reformed and reformed. Even when you want to dissolve those ones formed, you have to raise another committee to dissolve them. That is all we do, go round and round in circles. But the practical thing about all of this is that we should get men and women who have this knowledge, who are interested. Because mark you, if you are not interested in the subject, no matter what you do or whatever the way they force you, it's like taking a donkey to the river and forcing it to drink. Okay, so even when you bring these people and place them in authority, and they do not see the interest or they do not see the seriousness of education, then nothing will happen. Conventions have been taking place over and over the years, but what good has it done for Nigerians?
You know the consequence amongst all of these things, to add more, the consequence or the problem of poor funding they lead again, it will lead to what you and I, listening to us now, they observe.
Okay.
There have been different school fees allocated
Yes.
indiscriminately
Whims and
by
caprices.
poor parents to pay.
Okay.
It is because of the low budgetary allocation funding
Yes.
that has led to all of this.
Yes.
Because if there's funding, of course, as it was when some of you went go school, you remember before now, you get some people, I think that time was in the early 70s, 80s. Okay. Most foreigners used to come to this country.
Of course.
Ghana, Cameroon, South Africa, Niger,
yeah.
and so many other countries.
Even
and
from the
some
United
their lecturers.
Students, yes.
You see white lecturers from US, from Britain, from India, from, just name that they were in Nigeria.
Yes.
What happened? Where did we get it wrong? Very importantly, we get research.
Okay.
You need grants. You need funding to do research.
Okay.
And it starts where? It starts in the higher institution. However, we only look at in only university, because if you like, they be
the echelon
of all of this. But make I just tell you, they want this thing again. United Nations, through UNESCO, he approved 26%.
Okay.
And according to one commission, when they called the Longer Commission of 1991, he observed, say, out of this budgetary allocation, the team will don't try reach, now just a little bit above 10%.
Can you imagine?
According to world records, Nigeria, they ranked as the lowest educational funding nation in the world.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Is that a good remark?
Unbelievable.
Now again, according to statistics taken by the World Economic Forum, Nigeria is currently has the highest number of youths studying outside school.
The shores of this country, yeah.
So what will they do? My people, where they listen to us, now some of these and many more bring us to this place. Yes. Say, make we bring this thing to you and us where they decide. Make we they talk.
Okay.
Make we they talk the matter. What about our curriculum? I went to a school. I go one school. What thing I see now, what thing I do before. Can you stand with your Ghanaian counterpart? Okay, make I shock you now. Nigerians get over 75,000 students for Ghana.
Wow. Can you imagine?
If Nigeria good, Madam, you they work for Nigeria. In a way, that will encourage criminality or crime, whatever, because you they try to work yourself out to give your child, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, Nigerians for US get over 11,000 students. Nigerians for UK get over 13,000 plus. For Malaysia, they get over 13,000 plus. For South Africa, they get over 30,000 Nigerians. For Ukraine, they get over 17,000 Nigerians. What do we do there? If he good there, those ones who study and ordinarily come back.
Come home, yeah.
If there's good funding, among the reasons when they complain for schools, they say series of strikes.
Yes.
Series of strikes. The strike don't paralyze several institutions to the extent that it no good again. It no good again. And right now, it don't reach extent when people go to cry.
Extreme, yes.
Whether my music, make I take join body small first because you get the thing they do me now.
Now why some girls they kill their unborn child. If you go to motherless baby, you go see abandoned kids. Then they cry for the morning sea. It's clear, you no go see to see. Take me to hear me say, you are the kind of man. You are the kind of man. You are the man.
Let me give you number out.
You should take care.
Why not we do a number? You see up to the line?
This message we dey share. As you can see, all the kids need care. It's unfair. Many children they shed tears. Then they cry for help. Then they cry for survive. Every day and night. Even if you don't need them, save their life. Because there's nothing
Welcome
so
back.
important.
For you to be part of this, welcome back. For you to be part of this discussion this afternoon, you can call us up on 0909 435 0415. 0909 435 0415. Let's hear from you, okay?
You don't get experience before. Your brother don't get experience before. I be the budgetary allocation or poor funding don't affect you to the extent that you're picking the house. I be you don't go to that school where them talk say till you pay what they call acceptance fee. By the way, is it legal or caution fee? Are you supposed to let go? Make we they hear you. Make we hear your feelers. Make we know what thing they happen. And if you don't experience them before, or if you don't go admission, they say you pay one plenty money, or one lecturer they tell you say you want join body with you. Make he join body with you before he give you the admission. Now all of this, the Senate, they talk say they no agree or they don't agree with Nigerians, say it don't reach time to move Nigeria forward. Make we hear your own opinion as we continue this program.
Hello? Okay. You can call us up on 0909 435 0415. 0909 435 0415. The program is EDURADIO.
Okay, make I reel out something again. Between 2019 and 2009, the federal government don't allocate over 221.19 billion, which represent over 7.25% of its 3.049 trillion budget to education. How much they spend? It don't reach time we they ask now.
Yes.
How much they
We need
spend?
to know.
This figure, they say it was reduced. This figure, they say it was reduced. Now, as they reduce the figure, waiting happened. A lot of this thing. Between 1981 to 1982, ASU get meeting with federal government. And what in the meeting they resolved? They resolved, say, they established and accepted something. What in they say? They call it collective bargaining.
Okay.
Where they go take, they do some things. They don't reach several meetings between 1999 and 2010. They don't go strike, reach almost 15 times. For what? By what? For what? Now, we did they wait for an economy when ordinarily we're supposed to go forward, and our education they pull us backward. Is that how we are going to continue? If you don't get anything, or you don't observe anything around you, make we hear you. As our telephone line don't open, can you call the line again, make Nigerians hear us?
Okay, the line is 0909 435 0415. 0909 435 0415.
Prof, this matter what they talk now,
Yes,
you know say they're very important.
over important.
Some students no fit go university because the levy when university they impose on them, it don't cost them so much so that
Yes.
they're home.
Of course. Where in a family has more than 2 or 3 persons, no subsidy, it can't work.
Who wants subsidized education for you?
I know. It's supposed to be the government, but they are looking the other way.
Why should government subsidize education for you?
Because it's our right to be educated, okay? It's our right as humans, as citizens of this country to be educated. So the government should play its role by subsidizing education,
Prof, should I shock you again?
okay?
It is not a lie that over 262 million children and adolescents remain out of school in the
Out of
world.
school, yes.
And out of this number, Nigeria carry hand up.
I'm not surprised at the rate we're going,
There was another research that was carried out by UBEB about 4 to 5 years ago, about 5 to 6 years ago.
okay?
About 10 million children are out of school. Now, waiting we won't do. You wait to listen to us. It affects you. If it affects you, you go know. But if it not affect you, you no go know. Hello? Oh my God, don't miss that. Is it a telephone? I mean a telephone, Professor. Is it telephone or telephone?
Telephone.
Oh, telephone.
Yeah.
Tell him phone. Okay. Prof, you get any other roundup? Make we round up time, don't they give us a
The
small
point is
dipping?
there are too many things we need to talk about, but we're going to take it one step at a time. Rome was not built in a day, so we're going to work assiduously to make these things take shape. God willing, next week we'll open the phone lines on time so that you can contribute. I know a lot of you are trying to get in touch with us. Not to worry, next week is another date.
Our email, they there. Our email, EDURADIO. Our email last time we used Inspire to Greatness. But you feel like us, share, because you got one brother when they there, when they wait to hear you.
Okay.
On behalf of you and you, especially our crew, where they behind the scene. When we they call the man behind the scene. Very soon I go to hear and you go there in front of the scene. And then they walk behind. Engineers, then they see them, they only feel their impact. Una, thank you very much, Balambash, and the crew out there. Una, well done. Professor, thank you very much. And our great listeners out there, we want to say, tune out to the same station, same time, next week Tuesday, listen to us, EDURADIO, with your driver on the wheel, Omang Day. My phone went off and I want to call Professor Carey. Oh dear. Okay, you're up, eh? Ah, this music makes sense. Music makes sense.
Not the fruits of the matter. Our children just scatter. Every day they suffer. Now our sons and our daughters.